You are welcome to International Herbal Medicine Centre, England. The title this episode is called, Deadly Cancer-Causing Foods. Cancer is a complex and often life-threatening group of diseases characterized by the uncontrolled growth and spread of abnormal cells in the body. These abnormal cells can form tumors, which are masses of tissue that interfere with the normal functioning of organs and tissues. Cancer can develop in virtually any part of the body and may invade nearby tissues and even spread to distant parts of the body through a process known as metastasis. The food we eat can influence our risk of developing cancer. While diet alone is not the sole cause of cancer, it is considered one of the many factors that can contribute to an individual's overall risk. The relationship between diet and cancer is complex and varies depending on multiple factors, including the specific foods consumed, dietary patterns, genetics, and lifestyle factors. Some foods are associated with an increased risk of cancer due to various factors, including the presence of carcinogens, substances that promote the development of cancer, the way they are prepared or processed, and their impact on the body's physiology. We would be looking at some foods that are associated with an increased risk of cancer due to various factors. Please, if you have not subscribed to this channel, can you do so? We need you to keep this platform functioning. 1. Eating processed meat. Processed meat has been classified as a Group 1 carcinogen by the International Agency for Research on Cancer, IARC, which is part of the World Health Organization, WHO. This classification means that there is sufficient evidence to conclude that the consumption of processed meat can increase the risk of certain types of cancer. Processed meats are meats that have been transformed through various methods such as salting, curing, smoking, or using chemical preservatives. They include items like bacon, sausages, hot dogs, ham, and deli meats. The process of making these meats can result in the formation of carcinogenic compounds, including N-nitroso compounds. Different kinds of cancer have been linked to processed meat, such as colorectal, stomach and pancreatic cancer. These meats contains nitrates and nitrates which can form cancer-causing compounds when consumed. Fish and plant-based options or lean meats are much better. 2. Fried foods. Fried foods, particularly when they are cooked at high temperatures using certain methods, can potentially contain substances that have been associated with an increased risk of cancer. The risk is primarily linked to the formation of potentially carcinogenic compounds during the frying process. Fried food has the potential to contribute to cancer risk primarily due to the formation of certain chemical compounds during the frying process. Research suggests that some of these compounds may be carcinogenic, cancer-causing, in animal studies and may pose a potential risk to human health. Acrylamide formation. When foods high in carbohydrates, such as potatoes and grains, are fried at high temperatures, they can undergo a chemical reaction known as the Maillard reaction. This reaction can produce acrylamide, a chemical compound that has been classified as a potential human carcinogen based on animal studies. Acrylamide is more commonly associated with foods like French fries, potato chips, donuts and certain baked goods. Fried foods have been attributed to different kinds of cancer such as ovarian, kidney and pancreatic cancer. Fried foods is one of the major causes of obesity. Adopt better alternatives methods such as grilling, baking and sauté. 3. Sugar. The relationship between sugar and cancer is complex, and it's an area of ongoing research. While there is no direct evidence to suggest that sugar itself directly causes cancer, there are indirect ways in which high sugar consumption may contribute to cancer risk. Obesity. High sugar intake, especially from sugary beverages and processed foods, can contribute to weight gain and obesity. Obesity is a well-established risk factor for several types of cancer, including breast, colorectal, pancreatic, and endometrial cancer. Excess body fat can lead to chronic inflammation and hormonal changes that can promote the development of cancer cells. Insulin resistance. A diet high in sugar and refined carbohydrates can lead to insulin resistance, a condition in which the body's cells do not respond effectively to insulin. Insulin resistance is associated with higher levels of insulin and insulin-like growth factor (IGF) in the bloodstream, both of which have been linked to cancer development and growth. Promotion of inflammation. Excessive sugar consumption may promote chronic inflammation in the body. Chronic inflammation is thought to play a role in the development of various chronic diseases, including cancer. 4. Alcohol. Alcohol consumption is a well-established risk factor for several types of cancer. The relationship between alcohol and cancer is supported by extensive research, and various health organizations, including the World Health Organization, WHO. Types of cancer. Alcohol consumption has been linked to an increased risk of several types of cancer, including but not limited to mouth, throat, esophagus, liver, breast and colorectal cancer. The risk of cancer development can contribute to the production of free radicals which can damage cells and increase the risk of cancer. Limit your alcohol consumption or avoid it completely. 5. Hydrogenated oil. Hydrogenated oils, particularly those that contain trans fats, have been associated with an increased risk of certain health problems, including heart disease. Trans fats. Hydrogenation is a process used to convert liquid vegetable oils into solid or semi-solid fats. Partially hydrogenated oils, which contain trans fats, have been widely used in the food industry to improve the texture and shelf life of various products, such as baked goods, margarine, and some fried foods. Trans fats are considered particularly harmful to health and have been linked to an increased risk of heart disease by raising levels of bad LDL cholesterol and lowering good HDL cholesterol. Trans fat have been linked to breast and colorectal cancer. It is best to adopt olive oil, avocado and nuts. 6. Red meat. High consumption of red meat, particularly processed red meat, has been associated with an increased risk of certain types of cancer, most notably colorectal cancer. Processed red meat. Processed red meat refers to meat that has been treated through methods like salting, curing, smoking, or using chemical preservatives. Red meat. Red meat includes beef, pork, lamb, and goat. While not classified as a Group 1 carcinogen like processed meats, high consumption of red meat, especially when cooked at high temperatures, e.g., grilled or fried, has been associated with an increased risk of colorectal cancer, and other cancers, such as prostate and pancreatic cancer. To reduce the risk of cancer, limit your red meat intake and adopt leaner protein sources like fish and chicken. If you must eat meat, then adopt grilling or broiling methods. 7. Flour. There are some concerns related to certain aspects of canned foods, particularly those that are canned using specific methods and packaging materials. These concerns primarily involve the potential presence of certain substances that may be associated with health risks, including cancer. Bisphenol A, BPA. BPA is a chemical compound that has been used in the lining of some metal cans to prevent corrosion and maintain food quality. There have been concerns about the potential health effects of BPA exposure, as it can migrate from the lining into the food. 8. Sweeteners. People using artificial are more likely to be obese and diabetic. They trigger the brain to crave for sugar. Some studies have raised concerns and suggested potential associations that warrant further investigation. Here are some key points. Saccharin. Saccharin was one of the first artificial sweeteners to raise concerns about its potential carcinogenicity. Early studies in rats found an increased risk of bladder cancer associated with saccharin consumption. Aspartame. Aspartame, commonly known by brand names like Nutra Sweet and Equal, has been extensively studied for its safety. A good alternative to sweeteners is honey, maple syrup and stevia since they are less processed. Always seek a health practitioner. Please remember to subscribe to our channel. We need your help to keep the channel up and running.